And we're live.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay!
John, can you explain to Paul and I what a hate raid is?
Wait, you actually don't know what that is?
No. Does it involve bots?
Yeah?
That's all we knew.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's when you raid someone, usually a minority or person of color, or LGBT group, and you say the N word, the F word, basically, etc. word, but you get around word filters and you send a large number of bots after them. So you basically
it's not a
completely destroy their stream.
so it's not a group of people going into the stream like a typical
It's a group.
raid.
It's a group of people sending bots.
Okay. Got it. Okay. See, that's where I was confused. I thought it was a group of people like a typical raid. When
So
Paul mentioned bots, I was
imagine
like,
5
no,
people
this is
sending 500 bots, basically, all
right.
spamming
Okay.
some derogatory word in chat.
See, we figured you would know, so I wanted to ask you.
It's true. Yeah, there's gonna be like people are gonna stay off of Twitch on Wednesday and in protest, and I'm gonna be joining in on that. So
Okay. Yeah, actually I did. I think I saw a headline about that. Cool. I want to stay off for you, I guess.
well, it's not for a good reason.
No,
I'd rather it was
well,
not
I mean,
anything we ever had to worry about on the site.
the message is good though that you're trying to send.
Yeah.
But yes, no, the circumstances could definitely be better. That's for sure. What's new with you guys?
Nothing.
Not all that much, really. Just work as per usual.
Paul, what do you think of What If?
I liked it because it was fun watching characters I love get murked. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was fun kind of just seeing all of the like references back. I thought specifically the Hulk section was
Yeah.
interesting because that's the oh, now I'm blanking on the names. What's the actor Edward Norton? That's the Edward Norton Hulk. Where all that stuff happened, but they put
Ruffalo
in there.
Ruffalo in there for all of his parts, which I just thought was just kind of a funny little thing.
Yeah.
Also, the way they like took out the Hulk was pretty messed up.
It's pretty funny, yeah. I was kind of wondering how that was going to work, but they found a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was a cool episode. And I also liked that it wasn't just another, well, what if this character was this one instead, which is what the first two were.
Totally.
So I'm glad they're changing that.
A whole different idea. Kind of like a weird ending, but I mean, that's to be expected with what happened, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It was good. I'm enjoying that for sure. I started this week. I started the Cowboy Bebop anime.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
That's one of the best animes ever made.
Never seen it, but it's real short. It's like 26 episodes.
Yeah, it's a standard series. It has a movie too, which takes place like around episode 19 or something like that.
Yep.
Oh, okay, good to know. Is it your typical anime movie in which like it sucks?
I mean, it's basically a longer episode of the show.
Okay, because I just feel like almost every time like a series gets like a movie, the movies suck when it comes to anime. As
far as I'm aware of, Knocking on Heaven's Door is pretty well liked.
Okay, well I didn't know that about that at all, so that's good to know. I'll look up how I can watch that.
I haven't seen it, but like I also really like that show. That is a good show.
It is.
The soundtrack is phenomenal.
Yep. Soundtrack is great, and I believe so. We're doing this to get ready for the live action one this fall.
Okay.
Which, if I remember correctly, I think they got the composer back for the Netflix show.
Did they get Yoko Kanno? That'd be amazing if they did.
I thought I remembered that they did it, or at least they got a song or something. But I thought
song.
I thought they were involved to some capacity.
Cool.
Yeah, so I've seen the first episode.
Cool. Nice.
And my light just went out.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
How did that happen? Not like it's not a power thing. Oh, I think my light just died.
Weird.
It's a bummer. Gotta buy a new light.
You didn't need to see anything anymore, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna quickly try and fix that.
All right.
So how's your day going, Paul?
I'm tired. It's fine. Today was fine. It is weird seeing his room from the different angle there.
I know, it keeps throwing me off too, because I'm so used to seeing those posters there.
Yeah. Oh, he got it working. Hurrah. Good job. You fixed it.
Did fix it. The plug is real hot though, so I put it into like a stronger USB thing. Hopefully that's not a bad thing to do, although it's like way brighter now. Whoa.
You
This is
can
gonna be
see.
great for the audio listeners for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we talking about? Top-down perspective.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, that sounds right.
August 26th. I'm Sean Booker.
Paul Fleck.
John Wheeler.
This Saturday, I get to blow my nose for the first time in 6 weeks. And
Nice.
Oh,
I'm,
Jesus.
I'm extremely excited to be able to do that. That's my life. All right. Paul, your Final Fantasy number is bigger. So what have you been playing?
Yeah. Final Fantasy 14. I'm done with Realm Reborn completely. I'm in Heavensward. That ending.
Ooh, so it's gonna start getting interesting for you now.
That ending infuriated me. I'm ready to kill some NPCs. Fucking backstabbing pieces of shit. Yeah, that story popped off, and I am now doing the content that everyone says is the best stuff in that game still even, so I'm excited to see that. That was basically just the update, is that I'm past all the early game stuff, the base game stuff now. I guess
So you excited?
Yeah, I mean, I've been poking away at it between other games because there's so much to play right now that every now and then I'm just like, I don't want to make the decision on what other game to start, so I'm just going to play this for like a few quests or get some more of this story for tonight. So that's kind of what that has been. One of the things that did come out that I forgot is War for Wakanda from Marvel's Avengers. That DLC came out. I think I'm one of the few people that was actually looking forward to it, and even I forgot it was coming out. So I played through that.
Is that free?
It is, yeah. All their DLC's free.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, maybe I'll look. Well, based on what you say, maybe I'll look into it.
Yeah. I remember reading a few places saying that DLC is 8 hours long, and that is a complete lie unless you actually like doing the grindy part of when the story stops, you just play the same mission 20 times. Then it's 8 hours long. The main story mission itself is 3 hours long. The story's kind of boring. It doesn't introduce 2 new bad guys. Ulysses Claw and oh my god, Crossbones is the other guy.
Okay.
So 2 dudes, one with a gun and the other with like, I don't know, an energy cannon or something in this. Yeah. Wakanda in this game is fucking gorgeous. Playing as Black Panther is awesome. It's too bad that game still sucks, though.
So is this worth me downloading that game again?
That sounds like a no to me.
So here's the thing, is that I know, like, we both have so much to play, so no, but
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It is a 3-hour, just like easy burn through, and then you can play Black Panther, and he's pretty cool. The voice acting is okay, except that the accent isn't fully there, so it's bad in some spots. The other Wakandans, though, whoever they got voice acting them, they all did pretty fantastic, so that was cool. Yeah, I don't know. I know, like, if you like Marvel stuff, like, why not, right? It's free, but the time is kind of the thing that you're spending, which could be spent elsewhere. It's totally fine. Yeah. The problem is that you have to play that game again, and that game is just, in general, kind of boring. Like, one of the one of the missions is the same old, you have 3 points that are being attacked that you have to move between to like fight all the enemy. Just boring shit like that.
Okay, yeah, I think you're not selling me on this, so.
Yeah, they did add a couple environmental puzzle things where you have to like move to an area quickly and then hit a button or like do a little puzzle or something to open up an area. But there's only 2 spots where they do that and they're super easy. So it's kind of like, hey, we started doing something a little bit different in our game, but we only did it for like 5 minutes. And then the rest of the 3 hours is the same old beat 'em up stuff where, and it's just janky too. There's so many cutscenes where Iron Man had 2 face plates, one on his head and one on his face, like just shit like that where it seems almost
like it was open and it was closed.
It's like closed and like it looks like a visor or something because it was also on top of his head.
I mean, I could see that being a pretty funny joke if he opened it up and then another mask.
It's super not intentional though.
Okay.
Just like weird hiccups here and there because that game just kind of runs poorly just in general in some spots. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer because that Wakanda, their like art, their environmental art and stuff like that is absolutely gorgeous and it's super cool, but it is hindered by the fact that you have to play that game. I don't know. It's just like I wish this character and that setting had a better story in something that was just better playing, but it isn't. But it's also free, so you could spend some time in that, I guess. That's all I've really been doing though this week.
Do you think they turn it around? Does it get a Ubisoft Siege turnaround? Because I feel like they need it to, because it was such a big game for them.
I think a lot of the problems I have are deep rooted in just what that game is. Like it's just a janky mess that's kind of uninteresting. So they can keep adding cool shit to it, and I'll probably keep coming back to it to see that like 2 to 3 hour edition that they did, but there's no way I'm going to be doing like a 20-hour grind session because for end game to get a number higher or anything like that.
Sure.
Yeah. That's all I've been playing.
All right. John, do you want to talk to us about old Final Fantasy games?
Sure. Well, to be fair, 14's pretty old too.
And the part I played is like
14 gets new content like every month, it seems like.
Yeah, but he's like, how many years back at this point? You just finished the original game? You've only gotten to the first expansion?
Yeah, that I bought back in 2014. I found out this week.
Isn't that's still newer than 10 though?
Yeah, it's still newer than 10.
True.
That's true. Yeah, I'm playing through Final Fantasy X. I gotta do it for normal boots. I'm 60% through the game, 65. I'm at the Calm Lands, if anyone knows that game.
Okay.
Don't remember enough specifics. Have you met Lulu?
Yes.
Lulu?
You were right the first time, Lulu.
You meet her quite early.
Okay. She has a lot of belts.
Yep.
Yeah, that has a lot of belts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you going to play 10-2 after this?
I don't have to play that for work, but I will admit I'm morbidly curious.
Okay. That one I did not play anywhere near as much as 10. So I know a lot less about it.
Yeah, so far it's good. I'm enjoying it. I just want to see how it ends at this point. I sort of know how it ends, but like there's a bunch of stuff in between I wasn't aware of that I'm curious about.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than
I don't want to say too much because I'm actually kind of surprised that you don't know the story of that game.
Have you met Seymour by now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Numerous times.
Yeah, okay. Has the wedding happened?
Yes.
Okay. I have a better
idea. I don't even
idea
remember
of where you are.
Seymour. Does he have blue hair?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I know what he looks like. I could not tell you how he fits into any of that story.
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
We've done 5 of the 6 temples, if that helps any.
Yeah. Okay.
We were arrested. A bunch of stuff happened there.
Honestly, the only thing I can remember about that game, I'll keep it vague, is the twist with Auron. That is it.
Oh yeah, that's spoiled in a
Sure.
couple different places, so I knew that going in.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is like the only
I think
story
Kingdom
stuff I
Hearts
can think
2
of.
or 3 is just like, here's what happened in Final Fantasy X.
Isn't that always super annoying when something like so inferior just like spoils the story of something so much better? It's like, how dare you? You don't even have the right. You don't even go here.
It's really weird. Well, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm curious to see how it ends. Like like I know enough pieces of it. I just
Yeah.
don't know how they fit together. Like I know like okay, this is who the big bad is. This is what the final boss fight's going to be. I know what the storyline has to happen about the final Aeon and all that. I just don't know where everything interlocks at this point.
You're gonna go for all the Aeon summons and stuff before you end, right? Or no?
I don't know about that. I hate the Aeon system, honestly. I've barely used it.
Oh, okay. I really like getting some of those like optional Aeons at the end of the game.
Yeah, Reese is like, you should go do the shadow fights, but like you're gonna have to get really powered up for them. I'm just like,
True.
Like,
I
I
have
have a
limit.
life.
I have to finish this by the 5th, so.
Oh, yeah, you should
Okay.
probably just hightail it through the story then. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise that's all I've been playing.
Right on. I've been playing Psychonauts 2.
Okay.
I'm a little
Ooh.
surprised neither of you are. You guys not Psychonauts fans?
I have to play through Final Fantasy X before the 5th.
I like Psychonauts. Couldn't care less about Psychonauts 2 currently. There's more important things on my list.
Okay. I've never played Psychonauts, but it's always it was like had been installed on like every Xbox I've had, just waiting for games to stop coming out. And then I'll play through this game.
Sure.
That didn't happen. But I kind of had a suspicion like this game it's been so long since Psychonauts 1 and nobody played Rhombus of Ruin. I bet they have a pretty like lengthy let's catch you up on everything that happened. And they do.
Sure, yeah.
It takes place like immediately after Rhombus of Ruin, which I also think takes place immediately after Psychonauts 1.
Mm-hmm.
They catch you up for the most part, and it's kind of a whole different thing, so you don't like I don't feel like I'm missing out on too much.
Sure.
Psychonauts 2 is really good.
Cool.
It's pretty nice to see. I feel like it's like a feel good thing with Double Fine getting purchased by Microsoft. And there was kind of an interview with Tim Schafer floating around where he was saying, around the time that they got purchased, they were at the point where they were having to start thinking about cutting content from Psychonauts 2. And then when they got bought, that didn't have to happen, which is great to see because there's like a ton of like really unique content in here. Not only from just like other games, but like within it as well. It is definitely doing the like kind of Mario-esque like, oh, we are in a completely different world where everything's different now, and it's cool, and it's got your typical Double Fine weirdness. I really love just the weird shit you see and you have to kind of go through and whatnot. The whole first level is all dentist and teeth themed, so you're like running through people's mouths and jumping on giant teeth, and that's pretty cool and whatnot. And everything kind of has a face, so you're like finding collectibles and they got a weird face. It is definitely like this is a Double Fine ass game. And it's really good. Like all the different powers are pretty fun. They're pretty like unique. They can all be used like it's primarily, like a polygonal platformer, but then they also have a use case in the combat as well, and that's pretty varied, and there's skill trees for each of the powers. So you have like your pyro ability, you can like telekinesis throw things, but then you also have like a typical ability of like it's kind of like a grappling hook when you're platforming around, but you're grappling between thought concepts, and if you connect them together, you'll get like a fun like piece of VO. So for example, you can connect like it was socks with sandals with like joy, and you'll get a fun VO of the person being like, man, I loved it when my professor would come to class wearing his socks with sandals. But if you connect socks with sandals with like stress, the person will be like, I think I'm gonna snap if my husband wears his socks with sandals one more time again.
Okay.
So you can kind of connect things around, and that's fun to do. And then in combat, that ability allows you to like pull enemies closer to you for your combo and stuff. So it's kind of fun how they're doing different things with it. And what's really great is like there's a ton of story in here. Like every time I do like a 2-minute long fight, then I'm treated to like 20 minutes of platforming around completely unique environments, along with just like a larger scale story going on, because you're going in people's heads. So not only are you kind of getting what's going on inside, but stuff's happening kind of outside, and that's changing stuff and whatnot. And it's just really cool to see. It's like really polished, which is really nice to see. I haven't come across like any bugs or anything weird going on, and that's great to see too. It's just like a really like solid game, and I think that says a lot for something that has been like so long in the oven, right? Like it's almost felt like this thing was bound to fail.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing actually.
I'm legit surprised how well it's been reviewing.
Yeah, it's reviewing crazy good. And like you look at Double Fine, and they typically do smaller, like shorter things, and then they're saying, "Hey, we're coming out with another big title again." Like the last big title they did was like what, Brutal Legend?
Maybe, because I think then they started doing stuff like Costume Quest.
Yeah, they've been doing small, kind of like arcade style things for a long time now. Like the last one that comes to mind for me is like Brutal Legend, which didn't do great for them. So it was kind of seeming like almost like another gamble they were trying to do. And I'm glad to see that it is reviewing so well, and that's great for them. And then it's on Game Pass, obviously, so that's pretty great. It is on other platforms as well. From what I understand, it's on PlayStation 4. There is not a PS5 version. And I bet that was because in the original, because I think this was also a Fig game. I'm assuming in the original crowdfund, they had said PS4. And when Microsoft came in, they're like, you don't need to do a PS5 version. But you can do the PS4 one that you already said you would do. I bet there was something there for them. So, it's just like, it's just a real feel-good moment. It's a really fun game. It's a really polished game. And then Double Fine is just like, man, I'm so glad you guys are going to be around, and that you got such a win off this, because that makes me feel good, because I want them to go away. And that's great. So
this is definitely their first big game since Brutal Legend. Yeah, the closest other thing is Broken Age, and that's not nearly as big. So
sure, yeah.
Neat.
So good for them.
Yeah,
I'm super curious what the version of this would have been without Microsoft coming in to help.
Yeah.
And there's no way I'll ever like see what that is, but I would just love like just to look into like a parallel universe and be like, well, what was the review scores? How much did you cut? What did this end up being like? So it's great to see. Definitely recommend it. Again, you don't need to play the other two Psychonauts games. This is totally fine as is.
Cool.
I played through 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Paul touched on this briefly last week.
I think that game's interesting things.
Yeah, that game's concept is super cool. And as you learn more about the story and how they executed it, I ended up being thumbs down on 12 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
That the problem with 12 minutes is at some point you don't want to play it anymore.
It's such a strange thing, and I'm not going to get into spoilers, so don't worry about that. But like, the way you have to like execute on things, the way it's structured, ruins the pacing of that game. And then I also think the story is just really bad. I think the twists are like super lame, and they're not earned. And this game gets far darker than it needs to for like no reason.
Oh, I found those things hilarious. It gets super dark in weird ways.
I think it is uncomfortably dark. There's no reason for it, and it's like, why is this even in here? Like, so it's a typical point and click adventure game, and they give you all these tools, and you can like, you put this knife on this thing, and something will happen. They even explain that you can combine items and do stuff, classic adventure game thing. Yeah. I think you only combine 2 items ever.
Yeah.
It's like, why is this even in here? Why are you like giving me a tutorial step to be like, you can combine items. You do it once with 2 items. You never do it again.
True.
On top of that, there's not even like a bunch of like branching paths of like, oh, is something weird gonna happen if I like put this thing over here? No. Not you can only use stuff on very specific things to make their very specific story happen. Like it's kind of odd that there isn't like just some like weird dead ends you can get to and whatnot. Which yeah, it is such a weird game, and I'm very curious because like Giant Bomb had a quick look EX of this game like 6 years ago. And for those who don't know, Quick Look EX is they look at the game and the developers there as well, showing it off. I'm very confused. What took 6 years with this game? Because this game doesn't seem like monstrously big in any way. Like I would love to know kind of why this game took so long. Like what was the difficulties with this game? Like I said, there isn't tons of narrative branching points and stuff like that, and I don't know. But anyways, like I don't think that game is very good. I think it's a really solid like first 2 hours. That's real cool when you're poking and prodding and kind of learning some stuff. Once you kind of have to like really sit down and like deal with that game, I think it totally ruins its welcome.
There's a specific part where my feelings of that game did a 180. Obviously, I can't talk about it, but it's at the not very end, but in the latter half. For sure, there's a point where I was just sick of playing that game.
Yeah, so I mean, it's on Game Pass, so you can check it out. I think you should kind of check it out because, like I said, I think the first 2 hours are cool. But just kind of go in with. I think most people will get disappointed after those first 2 hours. Paul and I are thinking about doing like a spoiler cast so we can get into depth about it. So I look forward to that in the coming days. John, if you do have any interest, you're welcome to join.
I mean, I would have, but I kept hearing so much negative about it when it came out. I'm like, I'll skip.
Yeah, I would have been surprised if you played this game anyway. But just
the idea, I liked the original trailer. The idea seemed really cool, and then yeah, it just kind of fell apart.
Really cool concept. Love the concept. The execution I think is so bad. So okay, and then apart from that, I played through a game called Double Kick Heroes, which I didn't know anything about, but Game Pass was like, hey, this is leaving soon. I was like, oh, what's this game? How long is this? Oh, 3 hours? I can play through that. This is a rhythm game where you play a metal band during the zombie apocalypse. And you and your metal band are on a car. Each stage, you're on your car outrunning zombie and monster hordes. Then along the bottom is a note chart, very similar to like Guitar Hero or Rock Band. And you just need to tap the face buttons of the controller as they come across so that your like kick pedal or your cymbals will shoot out an energy blast attacking the hordes coming at you. That's basically the premise of it. It's super wacky. There's tons of references to like metal culture and like heavy rock. Like you come across Marilyn Manson's in there. They changed the name a little bit. Guar's in there. Ozzy Osbourne. There's tons of references and whatnot. All the music is like metal, and they like to put silly genres tied to them. So you'll get your like, oh, this is a death metal song. This is a beach metal song. One's like there's like hell metal, and so they have all these really silly names for what the genre is, which is fun because I think there already just in real life is some weird names for different metal genres. Oh, baby metal's in there. And that's fun because they even made like some pixel sprites of some of like the costumes you'll see that baby metal uses.
Nice.
So like it's kind of cool because you don't typically see this music in video games. So that part's fun. And it's fairly easy. I was playing through it on easy because once you get to medium, it starts getting hard real fast. Like easy, you just need to hit basically A and B to hit the note charts because you have to attack top and bottom. A being the lower track, B being the top track. As soon as you get to medium, they introduce the right bumper or R1, and that gets really hard to be doing all three of those at once. Every additional difficulty, they add another button. I don't know how you'd be able to do it. And then there's an option. So while you're playing, some of the enemies will like shoot at you, and it's by default it's set to auto steer. So the car will move out of the way of that kind of stuff. And the only way you'll take damage is if you're not getting a high enough combo, which means you're not getting a strong enough gun to slow the horde down. So the horde reaches you, you'll take a hit of damage basically. You can turn off the auto steering so that not only are you having to track the note chart, you know how to dodge the attacks. The game does try to help out a bit by like giving you directions to move your car on the note track, but I couldn't even imagine attempting that. I barely beat the game on easy as it was. My one complaint with this game is you're so focused on the note chart, you don't get to see all the like cool like monster animation and designs they came up with. And there's fun stuff like there's a Dracula in there, and he's riding on a flaming stagecoach, and the horses are on fire and they're chasing you and stuff, and like some real cool visuals. You like never get to focus on them because you're so focused on hitting these notes in the right order. So that's kind of a bummer. I don't know how you would fix that though. But anyway, that's Double Kick Heroes. I think it is still on Game Pass for a couple more days. So if that sounds up your alley and you have Game Pass, do it. Otherwise, maybe just look into it. I think it's a pretty silly and kind of fun ride.
Cool.
And that's all I played. So let's do some of this news.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up a little bit in it.
A lot of stuff happened this week, and some fun stuff. So, if people don't know, it was Gamescom this week on the internet. I don't believe there was like an in-person event for obvious reasons. But Microsoft's kind of started
past 2 weeks.
PAX West still on.
As far as I'm aware of, they put out the schedule today, I believe.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
We'll see. All right. Xbox kind of did a live stream. They did a live stream on Monday with their like, here's what we're showing for the Gamescom time period, I guess. This stream I don't think was that exciting.
Okay.
There wasn't a lot of new game announcements. It was kind of just updates. Their biggest one is they showed off a whole bunch of Forza Horizon 5. That game looks great. Like, I can't wait to play that. It looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. You're racing planes again and stuff. Mexico looks like a cool environment. That's on Game Pass, so that'll be awesome this November. They also put out like a special Forza Horizon 5 controller color that I actually think looks pretty cool. It's like all yellow. One? Yeah, I actually kind of wish it wasn't see-through, but that's fine. But yeah, it's like neon yellow with like blue and pink accents, and like it looks like the paint splatter went across it. I think it's pretty cool. But other games they showed more of the Gonk. I think the Gonk looks great, and I think Thunderful is a very cool publisher.
Agreed.
Crusader Kings 3 is coming to Xbox.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it has the worst box art I've seen in a long time. It's just that dude's face, and that's it.
Nice.
So, yeah. They showed a real early game called Stray Blade. There's more State of Decay 2 coming. There's like a Borderlands crossover coming to Sea of Thieves.
Great.
Sea of Thieves?
Yeah, Sea of Thieves. Wasteland 3 is getting an expansion called Cult of the Holy Detonation.
Oh, that sounds cool. I love that game.
That seems pretty cool. I would recommend looking up the trailer. It looks like a bunch of like mutants and stuff that you're dealing with, and it sounds pretty cool.
I
had a section about Age of Empires 4 where they talked about how trebuchets work for 4 minutes.
Nice.
Real life trebuchets, not gameplay, not game footage. They showed a real life trebuchet and talked about how those worked.
Nice.
Cool.
I was pretty bored. One of the highlights for me, a game called Into the Pit. I think that's worth checking out the trailer for. I'm getting definite like Doom vibes if everything was kind of neon and glowing.
Is this
I guess a lot of stuff in
Bloods
Doom
that does this? Who's
Into the Pit? I don't know who is Into the Pit.
I'm trying to find out. Oh, maybe it's Humble. Weird. This looks like a the New Bloods. They do a lot of this type of game, like throwback old shooters. Cool.
Yeah, and that's a Game Pass one as well, which is definitely cool. They had a Humble section. A bunch of Humble games are coming to Game Pass. I'll just run down the list in case anyone knows these. Arkvale, Bushiden, Chinatown Detective Agency. That one looks very cool. They showed Dodgeball Academia, which is already on Game Pass, but okay. Flynn, Son of Crimson. That one also looked pretty cool. Midnight Fight Express. Another one that looked cool. Next Space Rebels, Signalis, Unpacking, and Unsighted.
Wait, is Signalis out? I've been waiting for that game for like 2 years. What?
I don't believe any of these are currently out on Game Pass, except for Dodgeball Academia.
So, okay, so they're just coming.
They're all coming, yeah.
That Midnight Fight Express looks cool.
Midnight Fight Express looks cool, yeah. Then they showed a bit of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Some stuff's coming to that. Dying Light 2 showed more of that, and that was pretty much it for the Xbox stream.
Okay.
There was one other thing that they did mention during the stream is that xCloud is coming to consoles this holiday.
Okay.
For the Series X, the Series S, and the Xbox One, which means you can use your Xbox One and through the cloud play Xbox Series X games.
Okay.
Which is pretty awesome. Like that's a crazy deal. You go out and get yourself like a used Xbox One and like a subscription to Game Pass Ultimate, and now if you have the internet connection, playing Series X quality games. Like that's cool. That's great.
Again, assuming you have the internet connection, but yeah, no, that is.
You don't need like a crazy internet connection for xCloud to work. And they have numbers online. You can look and like check stuff, so you don't need anything ridiculous. But yeah, that's a cool selling feature, and it also makes the Series S like a much greater proposition for that entry level console. But let's talk about opening night live. So again, more Gamescom. This is the Jeff Keighley stream. This thing was like 3 hours long. There was so many game trailers. It was ridiculous. Paul, I know you watched some of it. Anything that you watched that you want to highlight before I keep talking?
Not particular. Oh yeah, Cult of the Lamb looks fucking great.
Yeah, that looked really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's the Devolver one. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cult of the Lamb was a cool one. I'm just gonna go through this article. It has everything in order. They showed King of Fighters 15. A game called 9 to 5, which is a 3v3v3 tactical shooter. It looked like Siege.
So this is pre-show stuff, right? I didn't watch the pre-show.
This is pre-show stuff.
Okay.
I think if you're gonna go back and watch the presentation, you have to watch the pre-show.
I'm
there
not
was
doing that.
There was a ton of announcements in there as well.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not doing that.
Bus Simulator 21.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep. A game called Dolmen, which looked kind of cool, sci-fi, horror-ish.
That sounds familiar.
Gotta see more about that.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think these are in order. Now that I'm looking at this,
because I'll tell you,
annoying.
Like, the actual show started with Saints Row, and then these look in order from there.
Yeah, I'm just seeing Dream Cycle here. I thought Dream Cycle was quite a bit later in the show, but maybe I'm misremembering. Dream Cycle is a first-person horror game coming.
Mm-hmm.
One of the big things, Saints Row Reboot, was announced and shown here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just called Saints Row. It's coming this February 25th specifically. They had an actress from the game on stage. She referred to it as a reboot. They're bringing back like the gangs and stuff and like turf warfare, and you have to take over the areas. I don't know. Are you guys excited for a new Saints Row? I think it's been 8 years since the last one, is what I heard.
Nah.
I kind of really only got into it when it got super zany, and I like the superpowered version, like 4. So I don't know if I'm gonna be super sold on 3.
I want to see more like actual gameplay. They showed a little chunk of random gameplay minutes, but like I'd like to see the game a little bit more.
You guys remember Agents of Mayhem?
Agents of Mayhem.
Yeah. Yep.
The thing just came and went.
Yep.
The thing is like on sale for $2 like at all times. It's pretty crazy.
Yep.
I'm definitely interested in playing some more Saints Row. I don't need it to be super powered stuff. Saints Row 3 is probably my favorite one. So if they kind of stick with that, I think that's great. But I also just loved, I mean, that was kind of zany as well with all the references and like weird areas you ended up in. You turned into a toilet and such.
We'll
so I think that was kind of my like good middle ground. But we'll see. I think by the end of 4, with kind of what you could do and where that story was going, a reboot is basically all you could do at this point.
Yeah.
They were like time traveling and stuff.
Yeah, I think they said it's like new characters and everything.
Yeah.
We saw the new Marvel XCOM-like game that had been rumored for the last little while. So this is coming from Firaxis and 2K. They showed no gameplay, but they did say it is a tactics-based game that apparently shares no gameplay with XCOM. So so I'm curious how different it's going to be while still remaining in that genre. But I'm just kind of looking forward to it because a tactics Marvel game still sounds really fun to me.
I'm waiting for September 1st when they say that they're going to drop gameplay. Then I'll decide. That trailer showed nothing, basically.
Yeah, it was just a cinematic. Called Marvel Midnight Suns.
Yeah.
And you play as like a brand new character, not from the comics. But, you know, Captain America's there. Wolverine with his yellow suit was there. Ghost Rider was there.
Yeah.
Blade.
Blade there? I think Blade's like a pre-order bonus or something.
No, Blade. One of Blade's costumes is a pre-order bonus. He's in there.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Then they showed 10 minutes of Call of Duty Vanguard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks fine.
So that's, you know, Call of Duty's
back to World War II.
Still around.
Yep. Never gonna stop. Did you guys see? I think it was last week when Vanguard was announced and like the first trailer dropped, like officially, that Activision was not in the trailer name.
Yeah, they're trying to do damage control that'll kill that game instantly.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
We got a cinematic trailer for kind of the first season of like a multiplayer, I think is what it was. Yeah, the first free-to-play for Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
Which it didn't show much gameplay, really, but it just kind of showed a character that will be like a big deal, I guess, narratively in the first season of the multiplayer. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know really what this was besides like a decent CG animation thing.
Along with that, then you said, hey, you know, it's Halo's 20th anniversary, it's Xbox's 20th anniversary, so they announced a Elite controller that is Halo branded for 20th anniversary, as well as a Halo Infinite Series X console. So there's a special color out there. I actually think it looks pretty good. The power button is like gold, which I think looks real nice. Anyway.
Yeah.
Cult of the Lamb, new Devolver Digital, so you know, sign me up. That does look pretty great.
Yep.
And they showed Midnight Fight Express, which looks like a top-down beat 'em up.
Yeah.
They showed some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge, and they announced that April O'Neil's going to be in there.
I just want that game.
Is a playable character.
Yep.
What's up? Super Monkey Ball. They showed more of that. There's a crossover with Persona.
This is where I stopped watching from here on.
Splitgate, they announced Season 0 has begun. There's like a new map and stuff.
Sure. Okay.
There's some Riders Republic. Okay. I believe they
Yeah.
also said that they're like extending the beta.
Great.
I don't even remember Century Age of Ashes. What was this?
Oh my
How did I miss
god.
this?
This looks like Lair. What the fuck?
You're like riding around on a dragon. I don't
Yeah.
remember this being there at all.
Want to race and fly around on dragons? Century Age of Ashes will let you do that.
Finally.
Thank God.
They showed Lego the Skywalker Saga, which Keeley was making like an oddly big deal about this Lego game, and I guess the last time they showed it was a year ago at one of his presentations, and then it's just been quiet. So
I mean, it looked
There's
pretty
been
good.
yeah, it looks fine. I guess this has been in development for a while. This is all of them, I guess. So
It looks
wonder
like a
how
higher
many
quality than what it used to for the Lego games. So
I wonder how many Lego Star Wars games there actually are. Like, how many times can you play like Star Wars 1 in Lego if that's the one that's in like every single one of them, right? They just keep adding more movies on top of it. I don't know. All right, Synced Off Planet. I don't remember this game at all.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what this is. It's a shooter, I guess.
Shooter. This thing says you summon robots. This clearly my eyes glazed over doing this.
Yeah, I don't. This looks like a weird shooter version of Knack or something. Like,
I don't think it has anything to do with Knack.
no, what I mean is that everything about this game seems to be, hey, look, we can have a bunch of like voxels on screen when you kill
Particle
shit.
physics and stuff.
Yeah, that's like seems to be the only reason why you would play this.
The Outlast Trials is a survival horror game coming up again. All right, here I think this is game of the show. DokeV.
Yeah,
This is a trailer you guys need to watch when you have some time.
OKV?
Yeah, DokeV. One word.
Is this open world? There's like a kid like skateboarding.
It's open world. I guess at one point it was going to be an MMO. It is not an MMO anymore. I believe that there are elements of Pokemon in this. Just like graphically, this thing looked stunning. It looked so good.
That kid just
Black
turned
Desert
into
Online
a
developers.
That kid just
Okay.
turned into a supermodel or something. What the fuck is going on? There's a robot now. All right.
So I definitely find some time, watch the trailer again. That's DokeV. I think that was game of the show as far as I'm concerned. I am very excited for that.
It looks neat. I just don't understand what it is yet, but I'll watch it later.
They announced Jurassic World Evolution 2 is coming November 9th. They showed
Okay.
more. Far Cry 6th.
Okay.
6. Another trailer for Jet the Far Shore. I can't wait. That's coming October 5th. I feel like every trailer for that game just rocks. And this one showed like some narrative stuff going on. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
They officially announced the delay for Horizon Forbidden West and gave it a launch date of February 18th.
Okay.
Along with Horizon Zero Dawn got an update to 60 frames per second that day. So that's live now, which is perfect in time for my replay of that game.
Sure.
They showed New World again, the Amazon game that was bricking GPUs.
Yep. For next month. Still, I
There's
guess.
some mobile games that I'm going to skip. There's a terrible looking Jumanji game coming.
A Jumanji game? What? All right. Sure.
Deadmau5 showed up on video to
Cool.
announce Oberhasli, which is a social hub within Core. Have you guys heard of Core?
No.
Core has been
Core?
described to me as Roblox for adults.
Oh.
Okay.
And I guess Deadmau5 is making his own thing in there, and he was showing off like, look, there's a racing game, and everyone's got Deadmau5 hats.
I totally
Look,
have
there's
seen
a shooter in
Core.
here. Look, there's a theme park.
I've totally seen this logo before. I didn't know what it was, but okay.
I definitely kind of got the feeling that Core is one of those things that like I've never heard about, but it's like quietly the biggest thing in the world, and there's like 8 million players.
One of those.
Yeah, that seems high, but it's probably way more popular than we know for sure.
Yeah. So Oberhasli is the place for Deadmau5 fans to hang out and play games with the spirit of Deadmau5 around them.
Great.
Also came up and he said, "Hey, my stage name is Deadmau5. Yes, that's the way you're supposed to pronounce it."
Mm-hmm.
And then he went forward and just referred to himself as Deadmau5 the whole time.
Weird.
I think he knew he could only win so many battles.
Yeah. True.
So, yeah, I don't know. They showed some actual gameplay for Age of Empires 4.
Okay.
Like at the Microsoft show, which was odd. Oh, by the way, going back to Halo Infinite, they announced the release date, December 8th, which had been leaked earlier that morning. I'm also surprised that Microsoft didn't keep that for their own stream.
Yeah, good point.
Here we are.
Age of Empires 4 looks really good. Okay.
Game Pass PC, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Valheim just got an animated trailer for like a new expansion coming. I actually thought the trailer looked like pretty good from an animation standpoint. Like, give me a Netflix show. Give me 8 episodes of that. I'll watch that.
Did they say what it actually does, or is it just this trailer?
It was just the trailer I don't think really had much to do with what's going on. I think it was just hey, here's a cool Viking related animation, and don't forget about Valheim.
Oh, this is a recipe for a meat pie.
What?
I think he got the wrong search result.
Nope, I clicked on the link in that article because the developers of Valheim on their Twitter posted a recipe for meat pie. So
okay.
I guess that's what Valheim's doing.
Let's see. Aloy from Horizon is coming to Genshin Impact.
Yep.
Sifu, another kind of martial arts beat 'em up game, is coming February 22nd.
Yep.
And they showed a whole bunch of Death Stranding director's cut. But you can like race other people's ghosts times now in that game if you set up like a race course.
Okay, cool.
Why not?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's coming September 24th. Okay, sure. There was a lot. Like I said, it was like 3 hours long. There was a ton of trailers in that thing. So pretty fun live stream as far as I'm concerned. Let's talk about some Gamescom news. Netflix gaming. We talked about this becoming a reality a few weeks ago. Today it went live in Poland. So members in Poland, they can try Netflix mobile games if they have an Android phone. There's 2 games at the moment. Stranger Things 1984 and Stranger Things 3.
Yeah.
I don't know what Stranger Things 1984 is. I know 3 is the like pixel one that came out like a year or 2 ago. What do you guys know Stranger Things 1984?
No idea.
No.
Every time I search for it, it just mentions this kind of article. So I don't know. But there's 2 games in Poland now, so it's coming. And a little bit of extra news on that is that it's not. I clicked the wrong one. Oh my god, Twitter load faster. They mentioned there's going to be the games that do come to the Netflix gaming will have no ads, no in-app purchases, and obviously they're included with your Netflix membership. I'm very curious what that's going to mean. It makes me think like free-to-play games won't get added into here, which are very in-app purchase focused. At the moment, the games they've added are not free-to-play games. Those are like actual games. But yeah, I guess. what game do you want to be added to Netflix?
All of them.
Okay, yeah, sure.
No, I don't know, man. Like I'm so indifferent on the whole Netflix the gaming thing.
Yeah. This makes sense if it's mobile games. Like, of course they were just going to do mobile games. At least to start with.
Well, I mean, again, I only really know Stranger Things 3. That's a tip. I wouldn't say it's a mobile game. It's an actual game.
Is
Anyway,
it?
yeah, that's one of the games leaving Game Pass at the moment. So
Yeah, that was
at least-
originally on Android phones like 3 years ago.
Stranger Things 3 was on Android phones 3 years ago.
It was
Yeah.
also on Switch and stuff like that. I think he's right.
Yeah, it's been out for a long time. But it was under a different name because it was under Stranger Things. Just period. That was it.
Okay, I'll have to take your word for it.
It's a shitty mobile game. Is what I'm getting at.
Going back to Halo Infinite, we did get some news during a dev update this month. They basically said that their tech preview was a success and they're working on the issues. They've already worked out the first 1-year roadmap for post-launch, and they've mentioned what's not going to be at launch. Specifically, no co-op campaign and no Forge. Which no co-op campaign is a big bummer for me because I would have loved to have played through that co-op, and there's pretty much no way I'm going to play through this and then go back to it later in co-op.
Right.
And they said those will probably be getting added during season 2. They said seasons are about 3 months, so it'll either be 3 months down the road or maybe 6 if they do like a season 0, like a lot of games typically do, before launching like the first season with like a battle pass and such.
Sure.
And then Forge is planned for season 3. So yeah, I don't know. It feels like this thing's coming out hot still.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm looking forward to it. You guys looking forward to him Infinite?
I mean, I'll play it.
Yeah.
I'm not like chomping at the bit, if that makes sense.
I don't really have anybody I would play co-op with, so I couldn't care less about this info. I'll probably just play it solo.
Okay.
I do wish it was
well,
there for other people, though. I know the co-op is a big reason a lot of people play it.
Yeah, that was kind of one of the cool things. That Halo, like all of them are co-op. So.
Yeah.
You guys remember Wild?
No. I was trying to read up on
what
this.
is Wild?
Wild, was it Michelle Ancel? Yeah, Michelle Ancel, as you guys know, is Beyond Good and Evil and Rayman.
Mhm.
Left Ubisoft, was making a game called Wild. It had a big snake lady. It was shown. Cinematic was shown off at E3. PlayStation picked it up to publish it. Michel Ancel got like reacquired the studio into Ubisoft, and I'm assuming they put him to work on Beyond Good and Evil. A little while back, Michel Ancel left Ubisoft, and he's working at like a nature preserve now. He's done game development. Wild, that was announced in 2014, we hadn't been heard about it at all. That game is officially, I should say unofficially, is heavily rumored to have just been canceled at this point.
I do remember this. I'm watching the trailer and I remember this lady stealing eggs from a bird nest. Holy crap.
Okay. I just remember the big giant snake lady. That's all I remember.
Sure. Yeah, I haven't thought about this game in a long time.
Well, it's been 7 years since anything has happened with Wild, so.
Yeah, it makes sense. Wow. Weird.
Here's kind of a cool thing. EA announced this week that they are opening up their API for 5 accessibility-related technology patents that they have, including Apex's like ping system. So now anyone, including their competitors, can use these, which is just very cool to see. And I think that ping system should be in every single game.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the most notable thing. some other stuff related to vision accessibility, including tech that detects and modifies colors, brightness, and contrast in the game to improve object visibility, as used in Madden and FIFA franchises. Another one to assist players with hearing issues. Yeah, this is cool. Good for them.
Yeah, good for EA for sure. Going from some good company news to some bad company news, Activision, who you know is being sued.
Oh, is this about them destroying the evidence?
That's basically the kind of the headline here is it came out that they are destroying. Let me get the actual quote from this article. Documents related to investigations and complaints were shredded by human resource personnel in violation of what it asserts is the game company's legal obligation to retain them pending the investigation.
Right.
All I'm saying is
that's
when
fucked up.
the company starts to shred evidence, they're usually not the good guys.
Sure. I mean, they're going to get in less trouble for shredding evidence than what that evidence would pin them for, so.
But that's stupid as fuck, man.
Yep.
That's
You know, Paul has a point. Like, they take the burn of what you shredded evidence, because whatever was on that document would have done a lot worse.
Yeah, it's like, do you want to pay $100,000 or $100 million in penalties?
You know what's better than $1 million? $1 billion.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Very true.
Saw that in a movie.
Yep.
Also related to Activision, Overwatch, they announced today they are going to change Mccree's name.
Yeah.
Mccree was the character was named after a one of the developers who is named as part of the lawsuit. And so they're changing the name, which just seems weird. That game's like 6 years old to be changing a character's name for the right reasons, though.
I think I'm among a lot of people that didn't even figure that that's who Mccree was named after.
I bet most people didn't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, why not? If the namesake is a toxic person, makes sense.
Yeah.
This one came from the Discord. I didn't know about this, and I was surprised more people weren't making a thing about it. They're remastering those two Monster Rancher games.
They are?
Yeah, they got announced. Well, so they're already out in Japan. They've been out in Japan for a while, but they're coming to North America now.
Oh, okay.
Switch, Steam, iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch. Which people really still announce games for the iPod Touch? Okay.
Apparently.
I don't know. Mentioning the iPod Touch just screams of desperation to me. Just say mobile. Just be cool about this and say mobile platforms. Or just iOS devices, I guess. Anyway, coming the 12th of September.
Tim Hortons.
One box, Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX. And there's a
Nice.
lengthy trailer if people want to see some old PS1 footage. All right, I got 3 news stories here. These are the what the fuck section of the news stories.
Yeah.
I grouped them all together. First off, Tim Hortons is teaming up with Tencent Esports to do a coffee store. I think we touched on this a while back, but there's now some pictures of what this will look like. This is opening in Shenzhen, China.
This is amazing.
Sorry to you guys. There are 4 photos here that you need to look at of what the Tim's cross
Coffee
Tencent
buff
stores look like. This e-stores thing. Like, there's a whole section where there's 2. Actually, Paul, why don't you paint us a word picture of what you're seeing in these photos?
Let's start off with the first one. First of all, this looks like it's in like either an airport or some business building or whatever.
It looks like an airport, but I bet it's just a cool building in Shenzhen.
Yeah, like some business building or something like that. And it honestly just kind of looks like a Tim Hortons, like a normal storefront or whatever. It says
Except
Tim's.
there's a shit ton of neon.
There's neon around it, yeah, and it says Tim's X Tencent and esports in big letters on the ground in front of it. And there's also a gamer penguin to greet you as you go in the front doors. So that's
as there should be.
All glass, by the way. All glass doors and windows and
all
stuff.
All glass, all class.
All class, yeah. Okay, this looks like it is an area you can sit inside, and there are two tables that are set up like you would see at an esports event without computers, where I'm guessing you can sit in the gamer chairs provided as part of your team, of which there's 5 per table. And you can probably just enjoy your coffee while watching, is that Dota or League, or I can't tell which MOBA that is.
I'm sure it changes. So, okay, so here's the question. Are these chairs open? Like, if you and 4 friends show up to a Tim Hortons and get yourself a dozen Timbits, you get yourself an egg sandwich, can you all sit down and play against another group of 5 people and like, hey, let's have a 2-hour game of Dota?
Just like plug in your laptop or whatever, sit down and put your laptop in.
Maybe they provide a computer, who knows? Or do you think it's for you sit on like the stool area over on the left there and you watch 2 teams that the Tim Hortons is paying to sit here for 8 hours a day, play some Dota against each other?
I definitely think it's probably an area you can reserve for like a team or something to practice or whatever.
All right, this is the scenario I'm picturing. You just ordered your food, you and your buddies, fucking hyped, ready to drop some Dota on whatever other group of 5 shows up. So you're going over there, you're getting ready. You know what, have it reserved? There's a dude just there doing his homework, but he wanted to sit in the gamer chair, and you have to like be, excuse me, can I sit in the gamer chair? I was gonna play some video games in front of everyone. I booked it for right now. My mom's shopping and she said I could play the esports in this coffee shop.
The esports. The next picture just looks like a merch area with some like touchscreen monitors on as a table. It looks kind of like an announcer's table or something to call plays or something like that. Yeah, it just looks like kind of a merch area, and you get an idea of the seating area, which seems pretty standard, honestly. Like a bar type setup where you can sit and have your coffee while looking out the front windows, or little tables that seat up to 3 by the looks of it. The next one is my favorite picture, and that is where you go up to order your coffee drinks with the giant word coffee buff above your head. That's the best buff you can get, so yep. I'm pretty stoked about that. Also, the front doors are hockey sticks.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Yeah, because Canada.
Just paying tribute to Canada.
Yep.
Now, this thing is so Canada themed. It's like, why isn't Canada getting the first one?
Because our esports are fucking terrible.
Guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you go to one of these?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. If I'm like, if I'm walking by and I see this thing, you cannot stop me from walking in and getting my coffee buff.
And sitting down and watching like a whole game.
Oh, I don't know about that. I would definitely get a coffee from there and take a picture in front of a sign or something.
Okay, so you'll go there as a novelty, but you're not going to sit down, buy a scarf or a mug.
I mean, no, but I don't go into places to buy scarves and mugs generally, I guess.
What if okay, let's say one of these are in Calgary.
Yeah.
Your favorite Overwatch League team is going to come and play out of the Tim Hortons. Are you going to go down the street and watch?
I would, yeah, like if there was an event, I would totally go there and watch esports into Tim Hortons. That's the dumbest thing you could do. Why wouldn't you do that?
That really is like the dumbest sentence.
Hey, you want to go down to the Timmy's, get a double and watch the whatever? watch some
San
Dota.
Francisco Shock or whatever it is.
Yeah.
John, where are you sitting on this, man?
I think it's fine, honestly.
Yeah,
okay.
It's totally fine. It's just dumb.
I mean,
it's just silly. Yeah, if there's any brand I don't think when I think esports, it's definitely Tim Hortons. So
right.
It's funny that it's even like this happening.
Fast forward a few years, John, you're going to be streaming out of a Tim Hortons as like a novelty thing.
Why not, man?
If it pays.
That would be dope, honestly.
Yep.
What I hate, though, is that this tweet says there are themed drinks, but it's all in Chinese, so I can't read what the themed drinks are. I want to know, like, what the themed drinks are here that they serve here.
It's probably like I don't know, like a Warcraft macchiato.
Yep, there it is.
This is an Overwatch egg and bacon, or I don't know.
Egg and baconer.
Anyway, so that's coming. Like, that thing looks dumb as shit. Continuing on with the weird news segment.
What is this?
Celebrate the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in March Through Time, a new experience in Fortnite Creative.
What the fuck is this, dude?
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out today too.
All
Let's look
right.
at this article. First line, quote, "I have a dream." All right, thank you. Thanks, PlayStation blog. When is this happening?
Wait, so this is just like you take your Fortnite character and you walk through a museum dedicated to Martin Luther King.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's even being run by Time Magazine.
All
What
right.
did you want it to be? What did you think it would be?
I had no idea what this would be.
If it says Fortnite, I would assume playable Martin Luther King, which is kind of fucked up.
I mean, there's a few ways you could have gone with that. You could have done a Martin Luther King Jr. skin, which, yes, fucked up. You could have done big, giant Martin Luther King in the sky coming
Yep.
out of like a fucking
Galactus.
techno portal.
Yep.
Also fucked up. I don't know. I mean, I guess, sure, why not? This is just weird.
Yeah, hit the kids where they are, I guess. Get them interested in history.
Completing the Dr. King and Civil Rights Movement challenges will unlock a DC-63 spray for your locker.
Those are words that I understand what they mean separately, but together make no sense to me.
Experience will also feature museum-inspired points of interest and quests you can complete with other players. These quests should bring an important reminder that relates to Dr. King's speech, "We move forward when we work together."
Sure, man. Why not?
Hey, the next war is not going to be with bullets and on land. It's going to be in Fortnite. And we're going to lose more lives than any of the world wars combined.
Yeah. True. This
All right,
next
last one. We touched on this when it was announced. There is now a trailer for the Frogger Peacock original game show.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, we reported on this because it's our job when this was announced. John, would you do me a favor? Load up this trailer and bring us on a journey of what you're seeing here.
It's pretty obvious, honestly.
They put a coin in, it says it's Frogger time.
Yeah.
And it's just Wipeout.
Yep.
It's just Wipeout.
There it is. That's what it is.
It's Wipeout.
Yep.
Peacock original. There's a big prize, I guess.
$100,000, what you just said?
I have it muted at the moment.
Yeah, I did too.
It's like 8-bit looking frogs. You got to dodge the cars. There's like a water obstacle.
As you do.
People bouncing off stuff. You know, Frogger. You know all these things from Frogger?
Yeah.
A big red X.
Lily pads.
What's this for?
Me, I guess. I don't know.
Why is it unlisted? The video's unlisted.
Great.
A lot of companies will do that because they want you to watch it on their website as opposed to on their YouTube channel. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't know who's getting excited about Frogger, and they're like, oh, I loved Frogger back in the arcade. Yeah, I'll watch a game show about that.
Let me sign up for Peacock specifically for Frogger.
Anyways, that's a reality. It's coming next month, September, I think 9th. It said, I don't know. I closed down.
2 weeks from now.
So get ready. It's coming.
Yep.
All right, and let's do some questions. topdownperspective@gmail.com is the email address where you can send a question in. Otherwise, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. And this first one comes from Kevin, who writes, What are the most ubiquitous platformers? I think Mario, Sonic, and Mega Man qualify. I'm curious what other games you think make this list.
I mean, Mario is the answer.
Mario is definitely number one.
Mm-hmm.
You think Mega Man is a top 3?
No, I don't.
Top 3, no, but it's definitely up there.
Would you replace Mega Man with?
Honestly, like Crash or Spyro.
Like a 3D platformer of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crash or Spyro, and they just had re-releases recently. I could see that.
I mean, PS1, a lot of people grew up with that, so.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, currently, Sonic, I guess, is just up there by default because he has a million games.
Yeah. I mean, I would put Donkey Kong over Mega Man.
Yeah,
I don't know if I could do that simply because Mega Man has way more games.
True. Okay, Paul, you want to take this next one?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm used to more than one question being in one thing. All right, Matthew writes in, if you were strapped to a treadmill and forced to jog at 10 miles / 16 kilometers per hour until you collapse, how long do you think you would last? I can't get a picture in my head of how fast that is.
So I looked it up.
And based on my current shape, like 5 minutes.
I'm going to guess you couldn't do 5 minutes.
Like 16 kilometers per hour seems, because like I'm thinking we have a forklift at work that's maximum can go 8 kilometers an hour, and that's like still pretty fast.
Yeah, when was the last time you raced it?
Well, I mean, I would never race it for.
I looked it up. 10 miles an hour is the equivalent of a 6-minute mile. Which I've never hit.
Then yeah, I definitely would not be able to.
Yeah, so if you saying you could do it for 5 minutes, that means you could almost do a 6-minute mile if you could hang on for another minute. And I was like,
I definitely misunderstood the speed, I feel, at that point. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe when I was like a teenager, but I wasn't like tracking myself with my time, but when I was like actually timing myself, my best was like a 7-minute mile.
16 kilometers per hour is faster than I think the person who wrote this question thinks it is. I think that it's kind of fast.
I mean, but you'd still be able to do it for a bit. I bet I could do it for I bet I could hang on for 2 minutes. Before I start slowing down to the point where it's like, I'm just going to get thrown off this thing. I got to jump off.
Isn't that just running? Is that even a jog anymore at 16 kilometers an hour?
You're definitely probably running.
Yeah. That's why that's why this question's a little weird to me, because I wonder if he actually means if you could how long you could run that fast.
Well, I mean, you know, someone's jog might be someone else's run, so I don't think you need to focus on the word jog.
I guess
here.
So. Yeah. Maybe 20 to 30 seconds, probably consistently.
Okay. Do you have a time, John?
Probably about the same.
Right on. John, do you want to take this next one from Suku?
Suku writes in and says, "Oh, when I asked top 10 perspective beat 'em up, I meant the camera, not the podcast. Do you know of any beat 'em ups in the top 10 perspective instead of side scrolling?" Yeah, it's Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Oh my god, I feel so stupid now. That question.
Yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance is like the big one, that whole franchise.
We mentioned a couple of them and they were shown off. Sifu looks like a top-down beat 'em up, along with Midnight Express. Also looks like a top-down beat 'em up or isometric.
Yep.
We all know edutainment games aren't the best at teaching kids, but that doesn't mean video games can't teach you stuff. Have you ever learned anything useful from video games, or maybe some obscure facts that would only come up in Jeopardy? You don't know Jack is usually full of weird shit like this, or like
Yeah. Weird trivia.
Fibbage has a lot of these too.
Yeah.
So trivia games like that, definitely. I can't remember any of them off the top of my head, but I just know that that's a thing.
Learned anything useful? I guess typing was a big thing. They had us do like typing stuff and typing games growing up.
Yeah, I feel like I never did like a typing game, but I definitely did like typing software.
Hmm.
That's how I learned to like type properly.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, there's probably like a fact I know because of a game, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at like drumming from Rock Band. Definitely couldn't do much drumming before that. Limb Independence.
Sure.
Not really factual, but
And the third question we have here is Aladdin, SNES or Genesis?
I like Genesis one more.
oh, split.
Mhm.
Tiebreaker. I'm gonna say the animated movie.
Yep. Okay.
That's the one I like.
Sure.
You did it.
Ed in Sky writes, at some point, you'll finish the best video game you're ever going to play in your life by some metric of quantifiable enjoyment. When that happens, what will your reaction be? And do you think you'll even recognize that nothing else will ever match it ever?
I mean, I'll be ecstatic that I played the best video game I'm ever going to play.
This is some high concept. I don't think you'll know.
Yeah. Like, it might have
I don't know how
already
you would know.
happened.
Could have.
Yeah.
For all we know, it's every game at this point is going to be worse than what we've experienced already. I mean, I guess it kind of already is, because isn't like the best games when you're like a teenager?
I mean, I kind of felt that way about Bayonetta, so.
Mm.
You feel like a teenager when you're playing Bayonetta?
Don't we all?
I get it. I totally get it. Yeah, I just don't think. I mean, I think the closest may have been like maybe playing something like Breath of the Wild, just knowing like this is an extremely special game. But I don't think I would even know. What video game console have you homebrewed the most, if any?
None.
None.
NES, I guess.
Sure.
Now that you're a retired Quidditch star, Sean, what are some of the highlights of your playing career? Bonus points if you have video footage to show. I don't have video footage on me, but there definitely is game footage on the internet. I don't know off the top of my head. It's probably just like winning some like very specific games. I know one of the last games I played before COVID, we like beat this one team that we'd never been able to beat. It's here in the Bay Area. That was pretty exciting. I had a real good moment. There was an Arizona tournament where it was getting real late at night, but the tournament officials wanted to like fit these few games in so that they didn't have to start like behind schedule in the morning. It was a 2-day tournament. So we had just finished playing this one game that lasted like a really long time, and we won that one. It just took like forever to catch the snitch, so like the game didn't end. And then they were like, "Can you please play one more game?" And we were super tired because we had just like given it all playing this long game. We were like, "Fine, we'll play the other game to keep your schedule going." And we won that game while we were down in points, but I caught the snitch to win it like in like a second. Oh, it was so cool. My whole team like just blew up. That was a real cool moment. Honestly, the best moments though were just like traveling with your team. You just like road tripping with them or flying to a new city and having like a super fun weekend with your team, and going out for just way too much pizza after the tournament because you've been like barely eating and just sprinting like for 6 hours straight. Those are some of like the best moments. There was a really great Portland tournament that I'll always remember and stuff like that.
Cool. No More Spiros writes, what's the best song composed for a mundane circumstance? The answer is Monster Hunter cooking music.
I was gonna say the Snake Eater theme song when you're climbing the ladder.
Yeah.
That wasn't composed for the circumstance. It was just used on it.
You don't know that?
Yeah, it was obviously composed for the intro.
You don't know that. I like to believe it was composed for that latter, and they were like, you know what? This is good enough to be the intro.
I like his canon too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of thinking with Sean on this one.
I'll also say whatever the name of that Deadly Premonition song that just plays
Life is
when
beautiful.
you're just
That
like,
was gonna be my answer.
Life
Yeah.
is beautiful when you're having like dinner that first night and it's just too loud.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
Rasterman writes in and says, have you ever been cautious or afraid of starting a game because of a nagging feeling that you might drop it halfway through? In my case, RPGs in general, as well as the story-rich ones, fit that description, mainly due to time constraints. Yeah, kind of the same for me. RPGs are a big time commitment now, and I don't always have the time for them.
Yep.
I definitely get that with RPGs. I also get something similar that's on with our podcast schedule, where if it's like Wednesday or Thursday, I'll try not to start a new game because it's like, I don't want to like talk about it on the show because I will have like barely played it. It'd be better if I saved it for like next week's show. So why don't I just play something else for right now and then I'll start it up right after the show. I definitely do that a lot.
Sure.
Phantom Aegis writes, good day TDP crew. Within some areas of the world, school is beginning once more. Do you have any memories of playing video games during school instead of schoolwork or homework?
Oh god, yeah.
Oh yeah. I've gotten Game Boys confiscated at school before.
What were you doing? Like hiding it under your desk? Or... Okay.
I got in trouble because my mom worked at that school, so the teachers were like, "I'm just gonna literally walk down the hall and tell your mom."
Snitches, man.
Snitches.
What about you, Paul?
Dude, yeah, TI-83 calculators playing like Drug Wars for a while. There was a version of Mario Snake, just all the time playing shit on my calculator.
Okay. Never did the calculator stuff. I don't think I knew anyone that did the calculator stuff. I had a pretty cool school, so there was definitely days where I like brought an entire Rock Band setup in.
Okay.
It would usually be like near the end of the year. I'll just ask like it was like computer class. I'd be like, hey, you know, next week, can I bring in my 360 and a full Rock Band set? And you know, if I finish my work, can I hook it up to the projector and play Rock Band while kids are finishing their assignments? And he'd be like, yeah, okay. So that was definitely cool. Yeah, I brought in Rock Band to a lot of classes and just hooked it up to like the projectors.
That is kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
We used to, at the University of Calgary, we would find a room that had like no lectures going on for the rest of the day, and we would just try to take over the projectors and just play a bunch of games on like the big projectors there. That was fun.
We did that once in university. It was like my dorm floor was like, hey, let's have a Rock Band competition. And we were split up into different groups and whatnot. And I was totally ready to just like fucking smoke these other kids because most of the people signing up were just like, oh yeah, video games are fun. I'll play some Rock Band. Whereas I'm like, yo, Rock Band is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay. I brought a full Rock Band kit to my dorm room that barely fits a bed and a desk. I used a DJ Hero table as an end table so that I could fit it somewhere. So I was ready to just smoke them. They wouldn't let us calibrate it, and we lost in like 10 seconds.
Dumb.
Whereas everyone else who was playing on medium, it didn't matter that the calibration went off because there was so few notes that you could like miss a bunch of them and it was just fine.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, fucking put it on expert. Let's go. Lost in like 10 seconds. I was like, can we calibrate this? No, there's no time. Moving on to the next group. And I was like, the fuck?
There's no time. It would benefit all of us. What the hell?
Have some respect for your competition, ma'am. This is RA. This is a joke.
Rinku writes, what is the oldest save data of a game you have and can access? Probably have a cartridge somewhere with a save on it from my childhood.
The thing is, like, I have real old cartridges. I don't know if the save is like still intact.
Yeah.
Some of mine are dead. The batteries have died in some of mine. I'm gonna say probably Final Fantasy III. I think that save still works.
Yeah. I have a bunch of PlayStation 1 memory cards on my desk here I've been meaning to do something with.
I think the oldest game I even have in this apartment is maybe like a DS game, so it's not even that old. I'm sure the save is fine. My real old stuff is back at my parents', so I wouldn't even know how to check right now.
Yeah.
John, would you like to read this one from
Yeah,
Lineback?
sorry, I didn't realize it was already back to me. Lineback writes in and says, "What's your favorite moments from playing Jackbox games?" Probably from the first one, just hanging out with a group of friends, 8 of us playing Fibbage 1.
Sure, yeah.
I do feel kind of at this point it's like diminishing results.
Yeah.
Honestly, some of my favorite are watching like the Giant Bomb crew play it. That's probably that I've laughed the most. Not that I've had like bad times with friends, but just like some of the biggest laughs have been watching like some funny people playing the game.
For me, it's always You Don't Know Jack. That's always been my favorite thing. Otherwise, there's one specific moment during TKO where me and somebody else both did a Sanic shirt, and they both went up against each other weirdly, like coincidentally, out of nowhere, and it was like the funniest fucking moment.
Nice, yeah. TKO, yeah, definitely a great one. I've had if someone can nail the rapping robot one, that's always just awesome to see.
That's a hard one. Yeah,
it's so rare.
Yeah.
I do think that You Don't Know Jack is like it's the easiest to have some like just crazy funny stuff happens because the writing is just so good. Like you don't need to be around people that are funny. Cookie Masterson will take you on a comedy journey. You will thank him at the end of it and ask for another round.
Sure.
The Joiner writes, the King of Creators tournament has just been announced, and each of you have just received an invitation by letter. It's a 3-person tag team tournament, so which 2 creators are you bringing with you? No, you can't say each other. That's too easy.
Is this like a fighting tournament?
Yeah, what is King of Creators in this case? Are we like content creators?
I'm gonna. Why don't, for the sake of this question, we don't know what it is, so you have to try and pick like someone who's good at a lot of stuff, or you could pick someone who specializes at fighting, and then hope there's a battle.
Well, in case there's a physical element, Sean.
It's too easy. You can't pick each other, he said. You have to pick your next strongest friend. I will take the title of your strongest friend. That's fine.
That's probably true, to be fair.
Hmm. I don't know, man.
The thing is I don't really follow many creators, like just in general.
Okay, well, just make it like fantasy football. Like, who's your fantasy team you want?
Right, yeah.
I'm gonna say Germa, the guy who did that live Dollhouse last week. That he literally had a game of The Sims. Like he was the Sim, and he had like an actual like set done in a studio, and the audience, the viewers, could actually control what he did through like a polling system. Like they could literally like he would earn money, and they would buy things for him, and they could place where they wanted in the actual house, like in The Sims. So they routinely like kept trying to lock him into rooms or like drop stuff on him. He had to eat, he had to use the washroom, he had to bathe, stuff like that. He had to work. It was interesting.
Definitely saw like screenshots.
Someone that
and
creative,
headline.
yeah.
I didn't know the name, but cool.
Yeah, German 985 or something like that.
I'm gonna pick that guy who kept playing like Overwatch with like weird controllers, like a banana and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah,
I'll pick that guy.
I've been watching this freestyle rapper named Harry Mack a lot. I just love the way that guy is able to like come up with just crazy shit off the top of the head. So if there's a lyrical component, I think like my team wins automatically.
Let's pick 3 each. Let's like make a team. So don't include yourself. John, what's your number 2?
As much as I hate him.
Oh no!
Disrespect.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, okay. What is? I gotta know the thought process here.
Because if you need someone who's in your face but knows to actually like how to work an audience, even if it's negatively.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good choice.
That is a
Sure.
good choice.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Sean Evans from Hot Ones.
Oh, god damn it. That's a good choice. Wow. All right.
Someone does say T-Pain is a streamer. You could pick T-Pain.
I could. Or like Snoop Dogg.
Gary Whitta? I'm just putting names out there.
Yeah, I'm just saying names.
The granny that plays Skyrim?
Man, I guess this just goes to show how little I do.
Jack Black has a YouTube channel.
Oh god. I do not want to be anywhere near Jack Black. I'm gonna say Maximilian Dude in case there's a fighting game thing. I like that guy too. I think that guy's dope.
Okay. And John, you're number 3.
Oh, I had to pick a third one. Shit.
Oh, I have my third.
I have my third.
Ninja.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, why not?
My third is gonna be whatever the like program is for Twitch plays Pokemon.
So all of
So
Twitch.
I want a robot.
Oh,
that's
I see.
just that.
I want an algorithm.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever physical manifestation of the algorithm that allows Twitch to play Pokemon.
My third choice is Adam Savage because that guy seems like resourceful as fuck.
That'd be pretty good. Sure, that's like a MacGyver you just got yourself.
Yep.
Nice.
Like, yeah, okay. I have duct tape and like some hair. Let's build a robot.
Killing robot.
Yeah. Okay. We're back to me, right?
Yes.
I'm just trying to find where we are because I had to look up who I follow. Okay, VGC Kenny, what games have you played where you think this needs a sequel, but for gameplay or mechanical improvements rather than just story continuation? Although that can be a factor too, just not the only or main one.
I feel like we say one of these like every month. Can't wait for the second one in these. I'd say 12 minutes. I would like a sequel that has nothing to do with that story, and that they improve the mechanics. Sure. Actually, with the way the mechanics work in 12 minutes, 24 minutes would be a nightmare unless they fix some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's a good answer.
I'm totally blanking, but I know we're always like, I can't wait for the second one. This was such a good...
Oh, God Hand's a great answer.
I want God Hand.
Mm-hmm. That's a great answer.
Dodgeball Academia.
I would like to see a better Everhood. I think that game is pretty cool. I think they could tighten up a lot of things and do some cool new ideas.
Okay. And John, with the last question.
From Decoy Troy. How do you feel about game series that have plot or lore in other mediums, movies, TV shows, manga, specifically when a future game in the series expects you to have seen those other mediums? I assume this is coming up somewhat because of No More Heroes 3, because No More Heroes 3 originally kind of advertised Travis Strikes Again as not important or like a side story, and then it turns out it actually has some important plot elements. So,
oh.
It's not a different medium, though.
Yeah, that's the only downside, though. Even though it's
like with that example, Psychonauts 2 kind of fits that bill, but it's not another medium.
So the one that I go back to that I hate is that Nier, it has 2 stage plays that tie directly into the canon of Automata that are only in Japanese, and a book of short stories that also tie into that universe. And, like, that's neat in theory, but how the fuck am I going to see a Japanese stage play to get that part of the
Are you
story?
A true fan?
No, not enough to, like, learn Japanese, go to Japan, and try to find that thing. No.
Well, this is a personal problem.
I guess so.
I feel like most of the time when this does happen, the future sequel in question usually touches on what you need to know because they don't want to leave you in the dark.
Well, ideally, yeah.
Yeah, Yoko Taro doesn't give a fuck about you. He'll leave you in the dark. For sure.
I just don't think they'll make it plot critical, right?
I will say that you still enjoy the stuff that is there, but you would get more out of it knowing some of that stuff, I think.
Of course, right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the good part is like you'll get more out of it if you did all this other stuff because you're kind of rewarded for that. But I don't think any creator is gonna like say, I am making this sequel just for the fans of the first one, and I don't want any other people to give me money for that game. Usually most of the time they want new audience every single time, right?
Yeah.
So they'll catch you up. Either way, I think I'm typically fine with it, especially because if you do like it, then you got a lot of other cool things you can like branch out and enjoy that are connected to it, and that's fun.
I think it depends to a point. Like, it gets a bit intimidating with, say, the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's true coming in late. But on the other side of it, though, like if you stick with it, it is so rewarding seeing all the Easter eggs and seeing how everything kind of unfolds and the references.
It's a trip, for sure.
Yep. And John with the
and
second
the other
la-
half says, "What are your favorite video game villain rants?" I still laugh at Pagan Min's rant about who's lighting all of these candles in Far Cry 4. I like the weird soliloquy drama cutscene from Devil May Cry 4 between Dante and one of the characters. That one's really good. Dr. Nefarious usually has some goofy ones from Ratchet and Clank.
I like what's the dude, the final boss in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance?
Oh yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
He's like shouting about like American military.
Senator Armstrong is a great choice.
That's a very good one. Anything come to mind for you, Paul?
Nope.
Okay. That's going to do it for questions this week. If you'd like to send in questions for next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What is your game of the week?
Final Fantasy X, I guess.
14 for me.
Mine is Psychonauts 2. Right. The new game for TDP Plus for September is Super Mario Brothers.
What?
You probably haven't heard of it before. It's kind of a small game.
I can't wait to get to it. I've been looking forward to that game for 35 years.
Can't wait. It's gonna be good. Looking for all the great lore that's gonna come out of that. Super Mario Brothers won by a landslide.
Oh, really?
What?
Wow.
Yeah, like half the votes went to that
wow.
game.
I didn't realize.
Fuck?
I thought maybe like a couple over. I didn't realize it was that big.
Oh my god. I think, we got a lot of votes this week for some reason. And then a lot of the votes went to Super Mario Brothers.
Weird. All right.
Right after this, we're going to go live with our Antechamber episode. So if you're the appropriate tier, you can stay tuned for that. Otherwise, check out the archive afterwards. Otherwise, we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.